there folks, Hatman here. In today's tutorial, we will learn everything there is to know about supply and logistics. We will discuss ammo, fuel, and engineering supplies with special emphasis on Conquest. Use timestamps to find whatever interests you the most. I spent a lot of time putting this video together, so don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. In this segment, we're going to talk about what can and cannot be towed, and what are the towing requirements for different equipment. So things that cannot be towed are machine guns, MG34, 30 cal, 50 cal. For example, some medium to smaller mortars cannot be towed. Some larger ones can. We have, ammo supply like this, trailer or cart. They can be towed. We have different anti-tank weapons. We have artillery pieces. They all can be towed. But how do we know how big they are and what vehicles can tow them? If you click, for example, on this ammo trailer, let me just find it real quick. It's over here. On the bottom left corner, you can see the bottom left corner of the icon itself has kind of a weigh symbol and then 1 star. There are up to 3 stars. So, for example, if I click on pack 40 over here, it has bottom left again has 2 star weigh symbol. And for example, pack 43 is because just look at the size of this thing. So it's massive. It has 3 weight symbols. That means there are 3 tiers: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and they usually depend on how heavy the tool is. But for example, we have Nebelwerfer 42, 300 mil. So this is like a massive rocket, but it's actually super light in itself. It's only like 1 way rating. Then how can we know what vehicles can tow? For example, if we click on Coupenwagen, let's find it real quick. It's over here. On the left has nothing. Next to its icon has nothing. That means it cannot tow anything. Unfortunately, it cannot tow anything. But if we click on, I don't know, something like this, we have, again, bottom left corner, it has kind of a towing icon and star level 1. The problem is it's just super tiny, super small to see. I'm going to zoom it in for you, but depending on resolution that you play, this can be a little bit bigger or smaller. So this thing cannot tow pack 38 because it's like a 2-level rating, but can tow this one. Can tow cart, can tow pack 38 because it's level 1. Then we can get like a truck with level 2 rating, of course. Oh, this is actually level 1 as well. Let me see this one. This one is with level 2. And you can pick up pack 38. Even pack 40. But cannot pick up something like pack 43 because that thing is way too heavy. We have a half-track. And half-track is heavy enough. Has like a 3-star rating over here. So it can pick up anything. It's pretty neat. What can be resupplied with ammo? Essentially, small arms and large caliber guns, ammunition, med kits, hand grenades, things that cannot be resupplied. They're essentially primary weapons or personal weapons. If your guy loses his MP40, for example, he was wounded and he dropped it, so now you cannot find it. You cannot go to your supply truck and get it back. It's impossible. The same applies to helmets. You either pick it from the ground or you cannot get it resupplied. Enemy personal weapons. So if we play as Germans, we capture BAR and we go to a resupply truck, it cannot be resupplied simply because it's enemy type of ammunition. And furthermore, every soldier has its own primary weapon and can only be resupplied with that type of ammo. So if I take my rifleman and pick up MG42 from Fallen Comrade, again, I cannot be resupplied because I'm not a machine gunner. That's it. But if you capture enemy vehicle, enemy tank, enemy anti-tank, anti-air, artillery piece, you can come there with your resupply truck and provide both small arms and large caliber ammunition for your captured equipment. Germans have the biggest diversity when it comes to resupply options. They have 5. Every other nation has its own roster and its own cost, both in manpower and population cap. We're going to take Germans as an example, simply because I do not have enough time to show you every single faction roster. But the general rules apply everywhere. And let's start with the cheapest option for the Germans. This will be ammo crate. Ammo crate carries 250 supplies and has 2 guys carrying it. It has a very low profile, which gives it an edge over other resupply options. Can easily hide in a trench. It can hide in a crater or something like that, so it's difficult to destroy by the enemy. It costs 70 manpower points and 2 population cap. It can only be carried by 2 guys and cannot be towed. So this is a bit of a concern. You need both guys to be able to move it elsewhere. The way to move it is essentially to do this. Right click and hold to move it. If it's like this and you just right click, it will not move. So keep that in mind, right? Then we have infantry cart. This thing is also relatively low profile. It costs 80 manpower points and 2 population cap. It carries 250 ammo, so it's the same. But this thing can be towed. It's also much faster. If we click over here, has 9 kilometers per hour. We can get 1 guy off. It will half the speed of movement, but will keep moving, right? And as we said, it can be towed by anything. Has only a single star for how heavy it is. That means that pretty much anything, Wagon can pull it. It's not a problem. Over here, we have bigger trailer. So this one is bigger in size, as you can tell. It's more difficult to hide. It's also pushed by 2 guys, but can also be towed. So this is a big advantage. It's has the same 1 level or level 1 away class, so should not be a problem to be pulled by pretty much anything in the game. As we said, it will be a little bit more difficult to hide it, but it's completely okay. It has a 500 ammo and 2 population cap. I think it costs about 120 or 130 manpower points, so it's very cost effective. You need additional research point to get this one. And if we talk about resupply, these things get their own passive resupply. This will be 6 for all of these 3. They passively get 6 ammo per minute of resupply. But then we go to the Opel Blitz truck. This truck carries 100 ammunition, and it has level 3, so it means it can pull anything from small anti-tank guns to the biggest of howitzers. Rocket artillery can tow anything. It has a significant amount of ammunition, so double of the trailer, and as we said, it costs about 5 population cap, and I think the full price is about 200 manpower points. Then we have this thing. It's a half-track. This half-track is massive. It has 200 ammunition. And this thing costs about 350 manpower points, but has the same population cap, 5, as the Opel Blitz. It has insane fuel consumption, so something to think about, but it provides Germans with much necessary ammunition. This type of heavy truck only exists for Americans and Germans. Americans have a normal truck with a 50 cal on top. It's more expensive, I believe, as well. Requires more population cap than German truck, but it also provides 200 manpower points. So Americans and Germans have big advantage when it comes to ammo resupply because of these heavy trucks. All the trucks in the game, when it comes to ammunition, have a passive regeneration of 12 per minute, so pretty neat. All trucks in this game have auto-resupply option, so it can be ammo truck, can be fuel truck, can be engineering truck. If you see this circle around it, they have different colors, by the way. If you see this circle around it, that means it's turned on. So whatever comes its way, it will auto-resupply. But if you want to change it, you can go over here to special options, click, and then you can find the disable auto-resupply option. So if I turn it off, now, even though there are maybe vehicles or infantrymen emplacements that need ammunition resupply, nothing will happen. You're going to keep your supplies. Well, for smaller things like crates, carts and trailers, this option does not exist. Only for trucks. But how does the ammo consumption work in this game? That's a difficult question to answer. Simply because it's not apples to apple comparison. For example, the rule of thumb is the bigger the caliber, the more expensive it is to resupply it. But bigger guns are slower to fire, they need more time to reload, while smaller calibers are faster to fire, and even though they're cheaper to resupply, right? So like ammo consumption per minute or ammo consumption per 10 minutes, it's very difficult to calculate. But let's talk a little bit about calibers. So if we click over here on Pack 38, it's a 50 millimeter shell. Any shell over here will cost you 5 ammunition to resupply. Any single one. Then we have 75 mil support gun. This one will also send you 5 ammo to resupply. But if we move to a higher caliber gun, like 105, this thing will cost 15 per shell. Pretty neat. It's a kind of a big jump, right? Then if we go to 150 mil howitzer, this thing will cost 50. So from 105, 15 to 150, it's 50 ammunition to resupply this thing. So bigger caliber, it's way more expensive. If we compare it to, for example, Sturmpanzer. Sturmpanzer has a short barrel one. It's, again, 150 is the caliber. There are no differences. This one costs 50, and this one costs 50. Doesn't matter the length of the barrel. Doesn't matter the reload time. It's 50 always. But when it comes to rocket artillery, we have Panzerwerfer 42. This thing has the same caliber, has 10 rockets over here, but rocket artillery is a bit cheaper. For rocket comparison to shell, this thing costs 40 per rocket, but a single salvo from this thing will cost you 400 ammo because it has 10 rockets ready to fire. So be very careful how you use rocket artillery. Make sure that the target is worth it because it's super, super expensive to resupply it. Then we have Morser 18. This has a caliber of 210 millimeter. This thing will cost about 100 per shell. So this one is 100 ammunition per shell. Again, takes a long time to reload. It's a massive explosion when it hits something, but it's super, super expensive to resupply. Then we have... let me find it. Yeah, we have Sturmmorser. Sturmmorser has 380 millimeter. So this thing will cost you about 200 per rocket. This is actually a rocket, I believe. Yeah. So it's very expensive. For example, 280 mil rocket. Let me just find it. I think I have two somewhere. Oh, this is it. So this is 280 mil rocket. This will cost 65 per rocket. So rocket is, even though this is a higher caliber than Morser, it's cheaper. 65 versus 100. So rocket artillery is generally cheaper in its caliber, but because it fires in salvos, it's super expensive to resupply. It's not very accurate, so that's also a downside. Then we have this thing, Carl, or this one is Tor. Siege mortar. This thing is 600 mil, and this will cost you 350 ammunition for a single shell to fire. Insane. So if you have a lot of heavy hitters, then make sure that you have heavy trucks ready to resupply it. Resupply something with ammo, especially big ammo consumer, it takes time. If we look at this one over here, it takes time to gain ammunition. As the number of rockets here increases, our overall ammunition decreases. At times, when resupplying infantry, you can find yourself in a precarious situation. So let's say that this is the end of the Conquest Day. You collected a bunch of enemy equipment. Let's say we took a bazooka, a bunch of rockets for it, maybe hand grenades, aid kits, and our guys' inventory is completely full. Occasionally, you're going to encounter a bug where you go to resupply with your squads, whatever, and for example, this truck will try to give you ammo for your primary weapon. Let's say we used all of its ammunition, it will try to resupply us. But because the entire inventory is full with, enemy weapons, this is not possible. It will not know when to stop and will continuously drain itself out of ammo. So for as long as you keep your infantry with the full inventory, occasionally what will happen is that this will try to give it more ammo, but it cannot be stored and continuously try to give it more and more ammo. And the effect will be slowly but surely you're going to drain yourself out of ammunition. So in order to prevent this from happening, you need to keep them about 30 seconds in and then move your infantry squad away, especially if you picked up enemy weapons before. I do not know what triggers this bug. I've seen it occasionally, not always though. So it's a good thing to understand that, you know, just 30 seconds and then move your squad away. We could also exchange inventory between, you know, two infantrymen and a vehicle, or two vehicles. So if we click on a vehicle, press X and then a left click on another vehicle, we can see both of their inventories. And for example, if I wanted to kind of change places, or maybe give this tank all of my repair kits, I can just do this. So left click and drag, or I can just right click, just change it to spot. But what if I want only one to go over here? Then we're gonna hold shift and left click like this. If we want to have 5, for example, then you hold control. So control and carry over here. Just like that. So we said if we want to move 1, like this, we use shift. If we want to use maybe 5, we use control. And we place it over there. That's pretty neat. The same can be done with ammunition. So for example, if I call the shift, only 1 bullet. If I hold control, 300. But is it possible to actually oversupply? For example, sometimes they have all the infantrymen, all the vehicles, they have their own max supplies they can carry, right? Their type of ammunition they can carry. But can we increase this? And the answer is yes, it's possible. Even though this one is fully supplied, what we're gonna do, we're gonna shift all the ammo over here. And let's see what happens. Look. We are slowly resupplying it again. It will require some time to fully restock over here, but it's already happening. So if I just right click over here, we significantly increase the inventory, right? We got extra smoke grenades. We got like a lot of AP and HE shells, extra machine gun ammo. Well, as we said, these things can carry so much more. Essentially, there's almost no limit to how much you can store inside, but they have their own factory limit. So, for example, tank destroyers have only a few HE shells. So this is really good option. If you have some patience, you can do this with like HE shells for tank destroyers. Or you can give some of your assault guns. They have only a few ammo for Germans, so you can give it more machine gun ammunition. It's pretty neat to know. In order to resupply your engineers, you're going to have to bring this one, engineering truck. And if we go to the bottom left corner, we can see 500 supplies. These supplies cannot be passively regenerated. The same as we saw with ammunition, where you get like 6 or 12 ammo per minute. This thing is what it is. There is no passive resupply. And if we click on I, we can see that there is probably the most valuable inventory in the game. We have 60 anti-tank mines. We have 120 anti-personnel mines. We have 5 satchels, trench pickaxes, shovels. We have 2 mine detectors and cutters. We have repair kits and jerry can. They're kind of normal for every single vehicle, but in itself, you know, inventory is super valuable. Then we have the same auto resupply option. You can see that it's different from ammo supply, because ammo supply circle is yellow, this one is orange. You can kind of know what kind of truck it is even without looking at it. We have We have 4 types of engineers here, and these guys, if we click on these guys over here, we have anti-tank mines. They come with 8 to 9 mines. A single mine will cost you about 10 supply points. If we talk about anti-personnel mines, they come with usually 16, and they will cost you only 5. So you can resupply 50 anti-tank mines or 100 anti-personnel mines just with the supply count over here. Then we have a flamethrower. I did an engineering special about 2 months ago, and I did a lot of testing then. Back in the day, it didn't work. So if I had the flamethrower and I wanted to resupply using a fuel truck, it didn't work. But here, it does work. So it seems like they fixed it. I'm not sure if that was in the patch notes or not, but as you can tell, we're being resupplied actively. You can also resupply it using engineering truck, but this will cost you an arm and leg. For example, for 100 ammo or 100 fuel for the flamethrower, you're going to spend 100 supplies from your 500 supply engineering truck. But, for example, 100 fuel here for flamethrower would cost only 2 fuel for the truck. Insanely efficient. And this is why in lobby, it's so cheap to resupply flamer. So whenever you can, resupply flamer using fuel truck and not engineering truck. And then we have field engineers. Field engineers are special in a way that they can essentially dig in properly, like no other unit. So we have large and small barricades. They cost 5 points. On the bottom left corner, you can see all the building material points for engineers themselves. These 2 will cost 5. Then 1 barbed wire or patch of barbed wire will cost 2. We have anti-tank barrier that will cost 5. We have a small foxhole that will cost a single 1. A large foxhole will cost 20, so it's much more expensive, but can accommodate the entire squad essentially. We have a mortar trench with 40, and of course we have a tank trench with 50. Pretty neat. The cost for this thing, I cannot exactly remember. Might be about 200 manpower points. Population cap is 8. Engineering trucks do not only help engineers, but they can resupply other infantrymen or vehicles. For example, if you guys are missing shovels, you come here and you can get it back for 5 supply points. Then you can get pickaxe for your engineer. That will be 10. Then you can get repair kits, for example, for your vehicles or emplacements. There will be 20 per repair kit. 20 would also be for mine detector for your engineers. Satchel would be 15. But remember, all those pickaxes, satchels, mine detectors, they only work with units that originally had them. If you bring a rifleman or SMG men here, they would not be resupplied with those things. You're going to have to take it out of the inventory. Fuel trucks resupply fuel to all the vehicles in the game. Well, they come with 250 supplies or 250 fuel, and the same as in the situation with the engineering truck, there's no passive regeneration when it comes to fuel. One difference from other ways of resupplying is essentially that whenever you come close to a vehicle, you resupply it immediately. Doesn't matter how much fuel it lacks, it will immediately resupply it. We have the same option over here to disable auto resupply or enable it. The color in this case for the circle is blue, so you can easily identify it. In case your tanks need fuel, but there's no fuel truck, you can do it manually. So what you need, let's go to a vehicle. It can be a friendly vehicle or it can be, enemy abandoned vehicle, doesn't matter. For as long as it's not destroyed, gonna have fuel inside. So you're gonna take a jerry can, transfer it to your inventory, and then you're gonna press I and then click on a jerry can. So now it says it's 0 out of 20. We're gonna right click over here. Look at the fuel. It was 170, now it's 150. And we're gonna go over here and transfer that fuel. 643. 663. So this is how you can do it. It's more difficult to do. You're gonna need an infantryman. You cannot just transfer directly fuel unless you have a fuel truck. But sometimes you can do this. Previously, we said that bandages can be, resupplied by ammo supply. If you have a crate, if you have a truck, your guys can get their bandages back. But if that's not possible, your medics come with tents. And if you go over here, in placement options, you can find the medical rally point. That's essentially the tent. And it will take your medic some time to build it. There'll be a small red circle around it, and this thing will resupply your guys. If they need bandages, aid kits, they're gonna get it from this circle. So pretty neat. You can get 2 tents per medic, but in case we use it, we can go to the engineering truck and we're gonna get it back. I think the cost is about 5 supplies from engineering truck. Before you start any conquest, you should understand the economy behind it. So we have 4 tiers of economy, from low to very high, the same as you have difficulty settings from easy to hardcore. Economy dictates a couple of things. So first things first is the starting resources. Higher economy, you get more manpower to spend, more research to spend, more ammunition. And not only beginning, but also after every day, you get more than if you play on low economy, for example. But you should also understand that enemy armies are formed based on the size of your army. So if you have 5 echelons full and you have all the infantry and tanks and everything else, AI will scale based on your army in vanilla conquest. Then when it comes to actually buying vehicles and troops, the prices are exactly the same. On low or very high economy, doesn't matter. Prices are exactly the same. When it comes to resupplying, like fixing damaged vehicles, resupplying with ammunition, with fuel, I checked, prices are exactly the same. It doesn't matter, again, the level of economy, but where economy really matters is selling prices. So you want to sell some of your old equipment or troops that you don't really need. You're gonna sell them for much lower prices on low economy and higher prices on very high economy. For example, modifiers are 80% of the price. So if something costs 100 manpower points, at very high economy, you're gonna get 80% of the price if you sell it. Then high would be 70% of the price, medium is 60, and low would be 50% of the price. That's it. At the end of the day, in the conquest, all the men losses on the vehicle losses are paid through manpower points. If the vehicle, for example, is damaged, then you have to pay both manpower and ammunition to fix it. When it comes to fuel and ammo on the battlefield, they're being converted into ammo here. So in the conquest menu, they're seen only as ammunition. Now we're going to do a bit of a comparison between different emplacements and vehicles. One is essentially full of ammo, the other one is completely empty. So let's see how much it costs to actually resupply those things. So we have Pack 38, 190 if it's empty. Then we have infantry support gun, 75 mil, 287 to resupply. We have 105 at the 448, almost 450 ammo. Then we have 150. Howitzer is 446 to resupply. We have essentially Morser. This is 210 millimeter. Almost 600 ammo to resupply. That's very expensive. Then we have Sturmpanzer. This one is full. Okay, this one. 1230. Insane ammo requirements. So if you don't really resupply this thing, you can easily go bankrupt. Then we have Sturmmorser. Let me check this one. 5,000. This thing only has a couple of shells, by the way. A couple of rockets. 5,000 to resupply. Insane. Absolutely insane. And then we have Carl. Almost 10,000. This one is almost 10,000 to resupply. I discovered that, for example, if we go to ammo, let me just find my ammo truck. We mentioned it before. Here it is. So this truck is full of fuel. So fuel, it does not go into this, but it's completely empty when it comes to its ammo supply. It has 0 ammo supply. By the time I left, it had like 0 ammo supply. Here, it requires 300 to resupply. That's a 6.66 difference, essentially. So it has 2,000 supplies max. It was 0 when we finished the Conquest Day, and it requires us 300 to resupply. So you can see how much more efficient it is to actually resupply your equipment on the battlefield than to resupply it here. It's about 6 times cheaper to do it like this with ammunition. Just use your trucks, buy them trucks, use them, and you're gonna save about 6 times ammunition in comparison. Pretty damn neat. We finished a huge experiment. So in this experiment, our job was to test to see how much it will cost to resupply from 0 to hero all of our trucks. So the first one on the list would be engineering truck. This thing costs 75 to resupply for 500 supplies for engineering truck. If we look at some of the engineering units, we have a flamer here. This one did not use any of its inventory, so resupply is non-existent, but this one used 200 fuel from its flamer, so had 0 flame, and this will cost us only 1.6 to resupply. So essentially, do not bother. If it's the end of the mission, do not send your flamer to get resupplied by the engineering truck because it doesn't pay off. It's just super cheap to resupply them in the menu later. Then we have field engineers. So these guys would require 50. These guys used all of their essentially construction points. So they had both of them. That would be 25 per man. Not too expensive to resupply. Really not too expensive. But again, it's worth it to go back over here and resupply them during the mission. But where things are crazy, and I mean absolutely crazy, would be with miners. So this is anti-tank miner team. They cost 137 to resupply. These guys did not use any of their mines. They're also anti-tank miners. They do not cost anything. AP miners over here, 130. And these guys did not use any of their mines. So that's insane. 130 and 137 to resupply those guys. That's unbelievable. For example, dismissing them would be 64. And buying new engineers would be 80. So you would essentially lose 16 manpower points instead of paying 137 ammunition to resupply them. This is a very common tactic that you can use. For example, you do not want to pay for this thing to be resupplied. There are some other better choices with maybe some of the resupply trucks. This one costs like 300 to resupply ammo truck, right? So what we could do, we could dismiss it for 280, and the purchase cost is 350. So we would only lose about 70 manpower points instead of losing 300 ammunition points. It's a cool trick that you can do. But when it comes to efficiency, it's easy, but easy to tell. You could resupply these guys, let me see, about 50 anti-tank mines. Two guys could be completely resupplied 3 times. There will be about, I don't know, 400 ammunition in total that you have to pay for like 3 squads of these guys. But if you just use the ammo truck, engineering truck, pardon me, you would pay essentially 75 instead of 400. So it's insane difference. Definitely for your anti-tank miners, anti-personnel miners, if you play on easy economy, it's just better to sell those guys, dismiss them, and buy new ones. It's much cheaper. But if you play on hard economy or low economy, then probably it's better just to resupply them with your engineering truck. We talk about Flamer. Flamer is not worth resupplying at all because of how cheap it is here and how expensive. This guy will require essentially 200 supply points from engineering truck to fully resupply. But here, it's only 1.6 resupply. Field engineers are also worth to resupply on the field as well. But anti-tank miners and anti-personnel miners on easy economy should just be sold and repurchased again because you save up a lot of ammunition and you save up you lose some manpower points, but you save up a lot of ammunition essentially. But if you don't want to sell them on harder economic difficulties, or if you're playing like CV2 mod, then definitely use your engineering truck to resupply them for as long as possible. When it comes to fuel truck, it was almost impossible for me to properly test it. Very difficult to see like how much it costs. It's possible, but I would need to spend so much time. Essentially, you just need one fuel truck. And you can get it later in the game when you have a lot of vehicles, especially a lot of armor vehicles. The bigger the tank, the heavier the tank, the more it will use fuel. So you just need one. You don't need anything else. And if you play on like easier economy, you don't even have to bother with this because you're going to get a lot of ammo, permission that you do not have to worry about fuel resupply, essentially.